All right, I'm back again with the Jeep Wrangler. So if you've watched the other oil leak video, we had the crankshaft seal, the front crankshaft seal was leaking. I had oil, geez, I don't even remember, all over the oil pans, going down the oil pan, coming off the back of the oil pan. I fixed that. I didn't have any leaks for, I don't know, I guess about a year. Didn't have any problems with it. Got under there the other day, noticed there was oil leaking again. So I'm going to pause it for a second. I'm going to get under there and I'm going to show you the oil that's leaking all over the bottom. So be right back. All right, so if you can see that, that's all fresh oil, and I just did an oil change. I mean, it's good oil. It's fresh oil. It's not old at all. Ton of oil coming down somewhere on the back of the engine. You can see that. That's all fresh oil. So if you look up here too, by the way, while I'm under here, you can see I don't have any more oil coming down here. So that crankshaft problem, I had replaced this oil pan gasket. It's the upper oil pan gasket to rule it out before I dug into the crankshaft seal, and it didn't stop. So then I started tracing it up and fixed that with the crankshaft seal. So no oil here, so that's just an update from my other video. That crankshaft seal is still not leaking, and I'll show you it from the top too in a second. But long story short, I got a ton of oil coming down the back of the motor. So I'm gonna get out. I'll be right back. All right, so if you get in here and you look, there's a lot of oil, dried, but there's a lot of oil around the valve cover gaskets. I noticed that when I did the intake. I don't remember if I posted that video or not, but I did the intake gaskets, upper and lower intake gaskets, and I could tell from where the oil was leaking then, or from the signs of oil then, I could tell that my valve cover gaskets were leaking. So I'm going to show you something. So I took this off, and I'm going to try to get it in the right angle. If you look at this, this is completely sad. See the glare? That is not a dry gasket. So oil is coming completely across this gasket and coming out the bottom right there. You can see how much oil is puddled right there. So all that oil is just coming right down there. You can see how wet the exhaust manifold is right in there. I don't know if that comes up on the camera, I apologize. But anyway, lots and lots and lots of oil. There should not be oil on that surface right there. That gasket should seal that. So that's my source of my oil leak. Question is, I guess there's a little bit of a burnt oil smell, a little bit. It's not bad. So that's where it's been coming from. So these are pretty easy to take off. I bought the set of gaskets for, I want to say 10 bucks on eBay. I got Felpro on eBay for 10 bucks. I'm sorry, I'm trying to watch. I'm not watching the camera, I'm watching what I'm doing. So these just pop right off, slide right off rather, slide right back on. And the set comes with the O-ring right there as well, if you can see that on top. So the kit comes with 2 gaskets, and then that's 8, so 16 little O-rings. Dang it, I apologize. 2 gaskets and 18 O-rings for each of the bolts. So here's, now on this driver's side, I replaced this PCV valve a long time ago, and I watched a video. They said just crimp you some vice grips on there and just yank it out. Well, actually no, crimp the vice grips on it and then use a screwdriver as a lever to pop it out. When I did that, I cracked this housing under there. I cracked that housing, so I bought a new valve cover gasket. Here, as long as I'm doing this, or excuse me, valve cover. As long as I'm doing this, I might as well replace it. So if you have an oil leak, this is your next repair. And by the way, if you can see, that is all still completely dry under there. So I've got no oil leaking anywhere down there. So that crank seal fixed that. So easy fix here. This is the next one. If your oil's leaking from the front going down the oil pan and it's all over your oil pan, falling down off the oil pan, it's going to be that crank seal. If it's down here on the sides and or coming off the back You can see how it all runs down. The motor's got a tilt, so all that oil runs down and goes down the back, and it comes down the bell housing on the transmission. Look at that. I don't know if you can see how bad that oil is. Look at that. Right there. On that EGR valve assembly right there. Tons and tons of oil going down the back. So that's all it is. It's an easy fix. $10 or so. Now I'll give you a tip. Get you a 1/4-inch drive swivel, because you can't get to those screws otherwise. You're going to need that for a couple of them. So get you a 1/4-inch drive. That's a 5/16 socket. Get you a 1/4-inch drive swivel. Pop them off. Put your new gaskets on. You'll be good to go. Motor's still running great. So I recommend the motor. It's just typical Mopar, and all the seals, all the gaskets, everything's wore out on this thing. So thanks for watching. I probably won't be back. I'm not gonna wrap it up. Nothing else to say. Good luck. All right, so I lied. I said I wasn't gonna come back, but I want to show you something. So I showed you that this gasket was on there, and on the top side of the gasket you can see it's still pliable rubber, right? Even though it's actually a little stiff. It feels like a Twizzler. Doesn't really bounce back right away. On the bottom side, where it's right above the exhaust manifold, it is rock hard. I want to show you something. That thing is so brittle. I don't know if you saw that, so let me do it again. Wow, get a bigger piece. It just snaps. So that is worthless. I think we have about 115,000, 120,000 miles on this, and that's probably been like that for a while, which is also the same reason that that exhaust manifold cracked. It gets way too hot under here, especially around those exhaust manifolds, which is why they have all those shields on there, and all of this rubber gets brittle and breaks. So FYI, if that's your problem, like I said, if you got that oil leak, look for the symptoms. You'll see it leaking. The back there on the base of that EGR valve is a good place to look. If you see that leak there, just buy you a set. This is an easy fix and be done with it. Thanks for watching.